Hi there, welcome to Elm Colors. I'm Erica. On today's video, I want to do a little something different for Mix It Up Monday. We're going to play with this fun stencil. So this is from Concord 9th. It is the Autumn Hues Turnabout Stencil. I don't know if this is new this year. I will double check on that and put it on screen if it is. And I know that everybody else is focused on Christmas cards already, but when I'm in the season, I just kind of get stuck in that season. So I am still playing with fall things, which is okay because we still have Thanksgiving coming up over here, and we can still, send those kind of greeting cards. Anyway, this stencil is really cool. So the way that it works is it comes with two stencils, first of all, so I'll show you what the stencils look like. And then on the back, it shows you what the pattern will end up looking like as you turn the stencil. So it fills itself in as you turn it. So for this one, so you start it here and then you turn and you stencil and you turn and you stencil and you turn and you stencil. And then it'll fill the whole thing in. I have been playing with these all day. So this one is the wreath and this one is the background. And I've just had so much fun. So for example, I've got lots of samples here. This is what the background one will end up looking like. I did 3 colors of Distress ink, but I just did I kind of blended all 3 of them on every single object. So it all kind of looks like one color. I just love it. Yeah, so this ends up being, it produces a 6x6 piece so that you can then cut down to whatever card size you want. But it's just so pretty. So this is one that I did. And then, so here is what the wreath would look like. And this is using 4 or 5 different colors. And again, this is cut down to an A2 size card. So it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Actually, this is cut down to be a panel on top of one of those cards. So this is actually 4 by 5 1/4 for me. But I love it so much. And you'll see how much I love it coming up. So here's a couple more patterns, which I just kind of was playing with different backgrounds, like what inks would look like on certain backgrounds. So far you've seen pretty much all kind of creamy colors. I really like this one. This one was like a darker tan color, but it's got like a green tint a little bit to it as well. And so all of the inks that I picked, I don't know, I just like it. I really like it. And you're going to keep, I'm sure you're going to hear me say that over and over. But this one has like a taffy, what was it? Saltwater taffy, I think is the color I used here. And, scattered straw and like moss and I think like rusty hinge. I think those are the colors that I picked, and I just think it looks so pretty. And then this one I threw in some purples and went a little brighter with I think this is like ripe persimmon and maybe mustard seed on that one. And some of them I just left like at the solid color. Some of them I did a little bit of ink blending. This is when I was starting to play around a little bit to see. But so here is what, the 6x6 panel looks like. And then this is what it's cut down to for the A2 smaller size panel. So I typically will cut my panels down to have like a little border around the edge when you put it on the card. But yeah, I've been having so much fun. So another example of something that you can do with the background. Oh, where did it go? Okay, something else that you can do. So if you notice on this card panel, you have this center section here. Well, so for this one, I just didn't do that center section. I didn't ink that up. And then I cut a circle hole and then made a little frame for that. And so I'll have this on the front of a card. And then I did a little punch, used a little leaf punch and punched out that little leaf, which I think is just going to be so pretty with a nice sentiment, maybe some little gems sprinkled around. It's going to be so cute. so there's that one. I also did one on craft cardstock, which I really like, and I think it's going to be fun maybe to make this a shaker. So this is the wreath, and I just cut out a circle through the center of the wreath. And then I'll be able to pop this onto a card front and maybe do, like I said, a shaker, have my sentiment maybe stamped on the shaker or behind. Yeah, I'm so much fun. Here's one that I did where I just ended up cutting the whole wreath out in a circle. And this is done all in like neutrally, different shades of brown, which I think is just beautiful. And then I made this fun background piece that I'm just going to pop that on. And then I'll have probably something heat embossed, maybe with a gold or a chocolate color on the front of that, some kind of sentiment right there. Maybe bring in some gold gel pen or something like that to give it a little bit of sparkle. Really like that. And then I thought, I was trying to think outside the box a little bit. And so I did some different ones. So I did this one, which is on vellum with some silver and gold pigment ink. And I'm hoping you can see a little bit of that shine. It's going to be so cute on the front of a card. And this, you know, this looks like it's a good, like a winter wreath. Like it doesn't have to be fall. So this is maybe a way that you can stretch this supply to extend it into another season. And same with this one. So here's one where I just did like a little bit of a fussy cut around the edge of the wreath, and then I could stamp a Christmas sentiment in the center there. But I just think it's so fun. I love it. And I love the different greens and the red for the berries. So fun. So I'm going to show you kind of how this works. We're going to do a little wreath. So I'm going to grab all of my supplies. Okay, so I have a 6x6 panel, and I'm going to just add a little bit of removable adhesive on the back of this just to hold it in place. And my MISTI tool, and I'm just using this so I have this nice corner to butt my stencil up against. So I picked Victorian Velvet, Spiced Marmalade, Tea Dye, and Vintage Photo. I have no idea if these colors are going to work. This is a little bit of a pinky brown orange kind of color. So we're going to see how this goes. And I just use these little finger daubers. And so I'm just going to go ahead. I think what I'll just do first is just go through and do all the way around. I'm just going to do the same color. So we're just going to do Victorian Velvet first. So I just dab it on my ink pad, pick up a little ink, and then just kind of rub it around. And it's super quick and easy, especially if you're just doing one color all the way around. Okay. Oop, I don't need the whole thing. And then I usually have just something to wipe my stencil off with. So I'm just going to use a baby wipe real quick. Just a quick wipe down of that. Okay, so this is where our stencil was, and now we have it turned this way. And I think that these Turnabout stencils have been out for so long, and I'm just like new to the whole game, but they're so fun. So fun. I've been, like I said, just having a blast using them. Okay, so there is our orange. I like it already. So I might just use this towel just to wipe it off, and then I'll really wash the stencil off later. Okay, and then we're going to use tea dye. This is a pretty light ink, so I try to get a lot of ink on my little dauber. Okay, and then last but not least, I'm not going to even clean it this time. I'm going to use Vintage Photo. This is a really dark brown. Maybe I shouldn't have gone quite so dark, but it's done now. All right, and there we go. Look how cool it looks. I love it so much. All right, stencil's all cleaned off. And then we can just make a card with this, you know, with this beautiful wreath. So I am going to grab some more supplies. I'm going to grab a stamp and a card front and some different things, and we'll kind of get started on making a card with this gorgeous wreath that we just made in about 2 minutes. All right, I'll talk to you again in a second. Okay, so I have this stamp set that I got on Amazon. This is not from a company that I can find anywhere. And I'm not going to be buying stamp sets from Amazon unless it's like a reputable company. Because I have just had some rotten luck with some of these stamp sets. So I'm going to be buying a lot more from companies that I trust, for sure. So I mean, it's better to support them anyway, isn't it? And I also have lost my magnet for my Misty, and I am freaking out because I don't know where I would have put it. It's gone, but we can still use it. So I'm going to stamp this sentiment, and then I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to die cut a circle around it. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to tack this down with a little bit of tape, and then hopefully that'll be good. I am going to go ahead and stamp with my Distress ink. Now I know that Distress ink is not the best for specifically sentiments, but I'm going to stamp it a couple of times, and then I'm just going to leave it because I think it's going to be fine. Like, it's just a fun look. It's a distressed look, right? So I'm going to give that a nice, and you can see how spotty that is, but you can still read it. So that's the good news. I'll give it one more just to make sure we have some nice coverage. All right, that's pretty good coverage for Distress ink. You know, I was stamped 3 times, but still looks pretty good. Just right in there is maybe a little worrisome, but what I can do is take my water brush and just kind of fill in some of these areas that look a little bit lighter. I might actually just go ahead and there we go. Okay, so yeah, so that kind of looks like it was on purpose. Okay, and then I clean my stamp. I'm going to die cut a circle around that. All right, and it did cut off a little bit of the edge there, which is a little bit of a bummer. So now it says fall breeze and autumn leave. So let's try that again. Let's use this. We'll just die cut another circle, and maybe we'll stamp first this time. Or die cut first, then stamp. That might be better. Okay, and again, since I don't have my magnet, I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back of this. Place it in my... Okay, so maybe something smaller would be better. I feel like this one might be too small. Maybe we can center this one again better. Let's try it. Let's try it. No, it does cut off that end, so we can't use that sentiment. But that's okay, because this is what happens when I craft. Because I have like everything crazy happen. And we'll just try this one. I know that one will fit. Okay, so we're going to try this one. And hope that that works. We're gonna try the same ink. And then one more time just to be safe. Hey, that looks pretty good. All right. Carefully pick that up. Let's set that off to the side. So now we'll have this panel and we'll have this popped up in the center. And I think what I'm going to do is just while this is wet still, I'm just going to bring some of that color so if you add, since it's Distress ink, if you add a little bit of water, it kind of just creates a little, you can kind of watercolor with it since it reactivates that. So I think I like that. I like the way that looks. So we'll kind of ink blend a little bit around the edges of things. I'm going to cut this down. All right, and I think this is my card front. So I'm going to fold that over. Or my card, my note card. Not my card front, that's my card front. Okay. So then we have that lovely, see how pretty that looks on there? That looks so nice, so nice. And then I'm gonna pop that up there. So let's do a little bit of ink blending. So I'm gonna grab one of my brushes and I'm just gonna add a little tea dye to this. It's not gonna be super, I'm just gonna use the inside of my Misty since I've got that paper in there. So I'm just gonna barely get some color on the edge of this. Same all the way around, just a little bit. And then we also need to ink this guy up a little bit. There we go. Just a tiny little bit of ink. Okay, and then we're going to add that panel to the front of that card, and then we'll pop that up. That is perfect. I love it. I love it. I love it. And then I think maybe one other thing that I might do is I might add a little bit of a twine bow. So I have this really nice kind of cream colored twine. I'll make a little bow out of that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and adhere the card to the back here. I'm going to use, no, I'm just going to use this. So I'm just using my adhesive roller. Make sure that's centered in there. Then we're going to pop this one up. And I have this Hey There Pumpkin. I'm going to center that as best I can right in the middle of that wreath. Okay. There we go. That looks cute. Cute, cute, cute. I'm going to add just a little bit more ink Okay, and then I'm gonna glue this bow into place and maybe add in some gems, and then we'll be pretty much done. Yeah, I think I'm gonna add it right there. So we'll just hold that in place for a second. I'm gonna grab some gems. All right, I have this really beautiful sequin mix from Catherine Pooler Designs. This is the Providence sequin mix, and it's got like pinks and browns and golds in it, and I thought that that would be perfect for this. So I'm going to use my little handy dandy tool here and grab a few sequins out. I'm not sure. Oh, I got these new little, where'd they go? These new little trays, so I can pour a few in and try to figure out where I want things, which ones I want. Okay. Let's see. We're just gonna place some around. I'm just gonna kind of drop them in place, see how I like it. Got some bigger ones, some little ones. Kind of all sprinkled around on the wreath. I'm gonna move them around till I get the ones placed where I like them. Get one of these guys up here. All right, what do we think of that? Another little one down here. I like these little brown colored ones. They're so tiny. So tiny. Okay, well, I think that is good. I just have to make sure the sequins are all facing the right way up so that they will adhere when I go to glue them down. I think everything's good. Okay, so now I'm just gonna glue these all into place. And then one last thing, because I have a problem, I'm gonna add a little bit of stickles to this little pumpkin back here, just a tiny bit. Just like a hint of glitter back there. And that's it. That is my card. It's really simple, fun to do, and I love all of the sparkle and just the gorgeous colors. And those were just randomly chosen colors too, so glad they worked out. So yeah, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I really love this product, and I will link it from several different, well, as many different places as I can find it. But definitely go and check out Concord 9th on YouTube. Check out their stores. They have awesome, awesome products. And I have a lot of those. I just bought up a whole bunch of those Turnabout stamps too, stamps and stencils. So looking forward to playing with all of that coming up. So there we go. That is it for today. Thank you guys so much for joining me on today's Mix It Up Monday, and I will see you again next time. Take care. Bye-bye.